CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester. CMP.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Good Monday night from our CMP radio studios on 5th Street in Chester, right across the side from the historic Chester Post Office. I'm Dave Burman. To my left is Darren, DeVoue. You can see the D Train. He has a show every Sunday morning. What time the D Train again? Around
10 to 11:30. 10 to 11.
One time I was in here at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that we changed the time. You were part of the inspiration for the time change. Yeah.
So Darren DeVoue went to North Penn High School, not the North Penn up the road in Lansdale, but you play a little small town way up north central Pennsylvania. And what an experience that must have been playing football up there.
Oh, yeah, it was different.
And living up there, yeah. And anyway, so Darren has done some games. He comes out to the Chester home games. He covers them. You did some play-by-play for a couple of games this year for the Clippers. So it is a high school football preview here. We're going to focus on the Chester game, playoffs, first time we have ever hosted a District 1 quarterfinal playoff game. 5A, there's 6A, the big schools, 5A, the smaller schools, and 4-3-2-1. Chester against Phoenixville. Third time these two teams have met over the last 2 years. We beat them up at Phoenixville a couple of years ago. Last year, it goes fast.
Right.
And then this year, a tremendous game that we did here at Chester, 34-23 Chester. And then here we go, playoffs, do or die. Chester 10-1 under Dennis Shaw, year number 1. Phoenixville 8-3 from the Pioneer Frontier Conference. Pride of Delco's their head coach, Anthony Sorello, year number 4. He's done an awesome job building this program back. So here we go. Your thoughts on the game, Darren DeVoue.
Well, last time Chester played them, what was it? 34-23, something like that?
Yes, it was back on September the 9th.
So there was a guy that films games, and he said, man, I'm telling you, watch Phoenixville special teams. He said, I've been filming them. Yeah. He said, watch this. That's where Phoenixville.
You keep an eye, yeah.
So sure enough, Chester devastated them on, I think they got a punt block, they got a big return. Another turnover. Special teams played a huge role in that game, and I feel like, what was that? That was week 3? Yeah,
yes.
Week 3.
And Chester had, the first game of the year, Chester played 6A, bigger school,
right,
up in the close to the Phoenixville area, sort of.
And Cheltenham 6A as well. Yeah,
the 6A. And Chester lost to Perkiomen Valley, only lost of the year 31-0, but it was a lesson learned. It was a wake-up call. And, Perkiomen Valley is still alive. They're in the District 1 6A quarterfinal round themselves. So is Downingtown West, who we beat. It shows you. Play a couple of schools a little bit larger,
right?
And it really helps Cheltenham. Chester only beat them 22-20.
They just lost in their playoffs as well.
Close game, yeah.
That they had, whoa, Nelly.
Yeah, that was Cheltenham gave them a very good game the other night, but they pulled it out. So congrats to Cheltenham on a good season. Phoenixville, again, they have a rushing, tremendous running back. He's a junior, 12 touchdowns, 1,200 yards. Number 9, Deacon Williams.
Now, what I saw from Phoenixville in the first game was they depended on, and they did it as well last year. They used that running game, and they try and draw the Chester defenders up, and then they'll try and hit them big over the top.
They have a tremendous quarterback. He's a senior, Ty Romance. They have another. What a great name. And then another young man, number 26. He's a senior also, tough running back, 765 yards I have here.
The two-headed monster.
10 touchdowns, Sam Moore. And they have a big tight end. I did research on him. And he's big and he's strong and he's good. He's only a 10th grader, number 84, Jackson Ford. So, yeah, well coached. And running down the scores for Phoenixville this year, they beat Great Valley, who just got blasted by Strathaven in the first round of the District 1 5A tournament. Great Valley lost that one to Phoenixville 42-14. Bishop Shanahan, they're still in the playoffs, 4A. And Phoenixville beat them 42-7. The Chester game, 34-23. Norristown, Phoenixville blew them out 35-0. Norristown struggling over the years. Upper Marion, Norristown, check that. Phoenixville beat them 44-7. Pottstown, a rival right there, 40-0. Phoenixville. Potts Grove, another rival, and a great program historically, 37-7. Phoenixville. Then they beat Upper Perkiomen, 49-21, another team in their league. Pope John Paul was a loss. They're a 4A school, and they are in the District 1 4A championship game. And Upper Perkiomen is going to, Pope John Paul is going to be playing Bishop Shanahan, 2 private schools going at it. Last year, remember, it was Interboro won the District 1 4A championship. Was Abu Kamar? Yeah. No joke. I'm on top of it. So anyway, back to so Pope John Paul beat Phoenixville 49-21, and they're no joke. Pope John Paul. They beat also a 6A powerhouse, still in the playoffs, Springford the other night.
Okay.
They beat them in the playoff game a couple weeks ago in the Pioneer Athletic Conference championship game. And then the playoff game the other night, Westchester East gave Phoenixville a good game. East lost 21-14 earlier this year. You saw Chester shut out.
Got a few common opponents on their schedules as well.
32-0.
Yeah.
So it's Chester and Phoenixville. I'm not sure of the start time of the game yet. Could be 11, could be 1 o'clock.
Now, why would why would it switch? I mean, the last playoff game was 1 o'clock. I mean, Chester regular season 11 o'clock start kickoff.
Home games, yeah. Maybe senior day. We had a senior day last week.
Okay.
So maybe
they wouldn't just keep it 1 o'clock again.
No.
Okay.
You never know. And if people want to chime in, you can give us
Actually, you know what? Let's go to. I'm going to go while you're talking.
Oh, yeah. Can you get comments?
I'm going to go to maxpreps.com.
Okay. I have Chester scores, too.
Okay.
Chester this year started the season 31-0 loss to Perkiomen Valley from up there in Collegeville near Ursinus College. Next game at Cheltenham, big win, 22-20. Beat Phoenixville at home, 34-23. Blasted Interboro, 52-0 at home. Beat Westchester East on the road, 32-0. Beat Westchester Henderson on the road, 36-14. Beat rival Penwood, 44-0. The big win over 6A, Downingtown West, 28-19.
That was a strong win.
Yeah, and beating at Chichester. They're always like close games when Chester plays Chi. Rivalry, 48-8 Chester the win. Academy Park gave Chester a good game. They scrapped, didn't make the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Coach Wojcicki in Academy Park. But Chester won that one. And the Del Valle League Soul Right Championship for the last 2 years in a row, 22-0. And then Upper Moreland, young team. Chester put them away, 44.
That kid. They went through how many quarterbacks did they use?
44-0. Yeah, their starting quarterback, a junior, 1,500 yards passing, 17 touchdowns, didn't play. He was injured. You said people saw him on the sideline. He had a boot. Apparently,
okay.
So he was
at quarter. They had that poor freshman in there. Oh man,
but it was a good experience for the kid.
No doubt. But he was about the tripod is taller than that kid.
Exactly. Can you get and see what if anybody's commenting? Yeah. If there's anybody commenting on the page, a lot of people can ask questions here. So Chester, Phoenixville. Phoenixville is the home of two outstanding Major League Baseball players back in the day. Mike Piazza, you remember him? Catcher for the Dodgers.
Owner of a lot of deals.
And the Mets, and also Andre Thornton. Back in the day, the Chicago Cubs. So Phoenixville produced those cats. Chester High, what a year. Of course, we're not playing number 21, who I want him to be the Delco Football Player of the Year, and he's only a junior. 1,330 yards rushing. He's only a junior, 5'10". Deshaun Jackson, ineligible for the postseason due to the PIAA transfer rules, which are, to me, very hypocritical. Let all the kids play. I saw in basketball, 6 guys I know that transferred for their senior year and were allowed to play. Okay, that's basketball. And anyway, so Deshaun, it was funny. Saw him on the sideline the other night. Well, I didn't know it was him. He was incognito he had sunglasses after the game.
I'm sure it's got to be crushing for that kid too.
He was in good spirits. Had the sunglasses on, had a hood on, and I go, "Who are you?" I go, "You look familiar." Well, I'm actually one of the coaches. Then he was like, and I'm like, "Who?" And I felt, come on, you know who I am. And I couldn't really tell with the hood off, even though I got a picture with Deshaun. And then he says, it's Deshaun Jackson. So anyway, he said he's helping out the running backs. Well, good. So
to stay involved with the
he's had a hell of a year. What a bruiser he turned out to be. We got him back next year. And not only that, Dennis Shaw should be the Delco Football Coach of the Year.
Right.
So it should be a Chester sweep, in my opinion, Delco times.
It's impressive what Jackson has done also because that power running aspect that he's brought to the offense, because you see it oftentimes. Chester is a very multiple when it comes to running their sets on offense. So you saw it in the Downingtown game.
Yes.
They started punching them in the mouth. And I heard that the Downingtown could be a little bit on the soft. Well, oh, shoot. Am I allowed to say that about a high school? They could give up plays against the run. I'll put it that way. So they could be run on. And then when Chester started using that power running game with Jackson between the tackles, complemented by by quick traps and then runs off the edge with McDaniel, they found something to work with. And I feel cheated as a football fan that the kid can't play.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
but we have so many guys that stepped up, and we're very young. Of course, Dominic Toy, he's picking it up as the year goes on. University of Connecticut recruit, big factor there. Got McDaniel, we're talking about Larry. He's only a junior. Darren and Jalen, the twins, sophomores, unbelievable Division I athletes right there. And they look taller than 6'1". I got a picture with Jalen the other day, and up there he looks about 6'2", 6'3".
Oh, I lost the point yesterday when we were talking on my show, the D Train with Darren DeVoue, Sundays 10 to 11 on cmpradio.net. It's the station. But I lost the point because I said that Jay Harris didn't have as many touchdown passes this season or his last season, but I wasn't saying that he's worse per se. I'm saying that's part of his development, and with Jackson adding more to with the running game as well. But if he does, like if his stats do look worse, there are some plays where you've seen him develop as a quarterback, and he needs to keep doing that with throwaways.
Right.
Sometimes just live to fight another play, throw that thing away, and so he's developing mentally as a quarterback. I wasn't trying to bring him in. As far as if this is a sophomore jinx, as far as sophomore jinx go.
And these guys, they'll be tested, of course. Phoenixville. It's hard to beat a good team twice, and Phoenixville's a really good team. Mike Iannacci checked in, the legendary, long time, worked in the TV radio department of Ridley High School. Mike says it is, District 1 has it listed as a 1 p.m. kickoff, Chester-Phoenixville on Saturday. Mike also informed me big news that Ridley has... they need a new boys basketball coach as Kevin Kelly has resigned. And a lot of people, I already put it on Facebook. So Kevin Kelly, what a great guy.
That means I'd have to
Sun
teach
Valley
you.
grad in '86, and so at Ridley, that's a great opportunity. They've had some incredible teams in boys basketball and girls hoops over the years. So Mike Iannacci, Pride of Chester and St. James, thank you very much checking into our show here tonight. Well, let's run down more Chester players. How about the junior, number 4, Shamar Williams, coming on strong?
A couple of big plays last weekend.
I'm going to throw the names out and you can,
A couple of big plays last weekend. And he's been getting his head around more. He's been playing cornerback as well. Oh, sorry.
Yes.
He's been playing corner. And it was a problem early in the season. Guys weren't getting their head around, but they're starting to get their heads around more as they've already been given solid coverage. So
Absolutely. Shamar's only a junior. How about Mr. Charisma? He's all over the place. A lot of kids from Chester and all sports over the years have charisma. Number 5, Nari Melvin.
Oh, he took one. We were talking about the Downingtown game, man. I started noticing that Chester players, it seemed to me like Chester players were taking dirty shots. When it started to become more apparent of where the result was going to be, I started seeing some things happening, like, little in the pile stuff going on.
I'm trying to focus as a public address announcer, 9th year already. Can you believe that, Darren? Well, it's hard. I'm trying to focus on the other stuff, but it's good to have a guy and I'll need you on Saturday. My wife has to go to a family get together in Central PA, York, my old radio stomping ground. So I'll need you to. Can I sit next to you, man?
$50, I got you.
Okay, I'll hook you up. I'll give you free airtime tonight, bro. All right. So anyway, get back to
I noticed there was one play late. It was late, about midway, later third or the fourth quarter, and something happens. It's off to our right because we're in the stand, so it's down to that end zone. Melvin gets up and he's holding his fellas, And I was like, whoa. I think somebody nailed him in because, like I said, you start seeing the little stuff, but then Melvin gets up and he's holding the fellas. I'm like,
holding his
boys.
Oh, family. Back in the day, we called them family jewels. Okay, so he's okay though. Nari, that's tough. How about it? What a year! Super sophomore, number 6, leading tackler, Jarrell. Nari, go ahead.
Dropped a couple of touchdown passes this season, running before he caught the ball. Take your time, young man. But he's only a sophomore, right?
Nari's a junior.
Okay.
Speaking of sophomores, Jarrell Palmer, number 6. Pocket rocket.
Husky. He runs Husky. He runs Husky.
Yeah, you played the game.
Solid on defense. I like watching him and Clark on defense.
So then we have Kwamir Cosby, 5'9" senior, number 7, does a lot of different things. Speedster, track star, his grandfather. We remember him, a tremendous player from Chester, but he played at Roman Catholic High School, graduated 1973. Chico Singleton is his grandfather. And Fat Mama, who won the state championship, track, and she's not fat. Yeah. But anyway.
It was an ironic nickname?
Yeah, and that's... She won the state championship, and that's also in the high jump last year, 5'7", won the state championship for Chester. That's also Chico's granddaughter. Unbelievable. Okay. They call her, Fat Mama. That's her trade name. How about, and also in the house the other day, track and field, Coach Allen, Shake Allen, man. You got to love that guy. All right, now to Stephen Dale Jr., number 10. He's a senior. He's done a lot of great things.
The way he plays belies his size. Solid down, strong down on that DN spot. And it's ironic because he plays in a similar style with the same number as number 10 from last season, Larry Yates. But watching Steve Dale, and he stands up against much bigger players. He reminds me of you can't measure a football player. Dale's that kind of guy where throw out them tapes and your measurables and all that. Yeah.
How about the sophomore? He is a wide receiver, defensive end, unbelievable athlete. And again, he looks taller than 6'1". Damon Fitzgerald. Where's Jameer Nelson's number 14? What an athlete! We're just so loaded with players, but he's doing
another one on the D line that makes most of his plays there on the D line. Where again, strong knifing player.
Another sophomore, DeAndre P., number 15, it's a 2-year player. Sophomore, 6'2".
P is on the defense. I usually notice him on.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Jaden Holmes is an athlete. He's, I guess, technically our backup quarterback. He came in the other day.
Mighty Mike.
Yes. Number 16. He's a junior. He'll be back. Pride of Chester. Here he is, our guy, number 18, Amaj Barrett. What an athlete. He can sky. He'll be a big factor on the Chester Charter boys basketball team, 6'1" senior.
Muffed the punt last week. And so early in the first quarter. So he made a couple of plays after that. I was like, those are makeup plays, young man. Because that muff punt resulted in Chester's first turnover. And who were the Upper Moreland almost got
Upper Moreland
of that turnover.
Yeah, I know. And then the defense came up big. Number 20 for Chester, Zahim Sabri.
You were calling that name a lot Saturday. Yeah,
and he's a junior.
They were playing. He was getting more clock. I like how they're using their depth and developing players as the season goes on. And Sabri was one of those examples. Only called the name sporadically as the season, earlier in the season. But yesterday, playoff game. He was catching passes, making plays on defense. Yeah.
Joel Chambers, number 22, 5'6" senior. Great job. Another, a ninth grader, S-I-R-E Hall. I believe it's Sire Hall. And he's another young prospect at the quarterback position, I understand. So he hasn't, I think he came in the other day, late in the game. Here's another ninth grader getting a lot of time. He's a tight end. He's only 5'9", but he's 210, but he blocks like crazy. Zion Santana, whose dad, GL, was our DJ the other day for the game.
Oh, okay. That's what you did reference that from the, okay.
So Zion Santana, you got to love his game. Number 28, fearless. Damon Harding, number 29, 5'6", junior. All over the place. We had Nakee Green McQueen got in there, a sophomore. Jabray Davis, another ninth grader. Shane McLean, freshman. Boyer, a sophomore. Jamar Herring, a sophomore. Kishan Katz, a sophomore. Milan Sudler-Jones, sophomore.
You listen to how many times you keep, how often have you said senior as you're running down this?
Wayne Clark, great year, Wayne Clark.
My man, I like watching him play some defense. Him and Palmer. The defense overall,
he's a junior, Wayne.
Coaches their whoever coaches their front seven. Yeah. Like, excellent job throughout the season because those boys play hard, they play strong, and Wayne Clark is one of those kind of players.
Number 39, Sonny Lawler. He's a senior. Great leadership there. Aleem Gidgets, 5'5". He's only a sophomore. He's 5'5".
Another one on my all-name team.
44, Earl Fulton, saw some time. Senior the other day, 6'1" senior.
Yeah, caught the pass over the middle late in the game.
Number 50, Waikee Riggins. We're getting to the big boys. 5'11" senior. Number 51, Lemire Powell. He's a senior, 5'9", 235. Okay. Kyron Staples has not played all year, missed most of last year with the injuries. I think he's a college prospect. Love to see him go after this year. He'll graduate, but there's always his fifth-year schools. Okay. And he's like a coach. He's like a coach on the sidelines. Another Isaiah Payne, 5'10", junior. Daniel Rawlings, 5'9", 270 pounds.
Made a few plays. Like as the season has progressed, he's another one who they have a lot of depth on that defense, which is important, especially when you face power running teams like they're going to face this weekend. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just now a ninth grader, 6'1", 250, number 55, Solomon Dotson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Early in the season, he was starting center. Was he not?
Yeah, they have him center, defensive tackle, and he's great bloodlines. The grandson of Chester High legendary coach, won 2 PIAA state titles as a head coach in 89 and 94, Alonzo Lewis.
Okay.
The late great Alonzo Lewis, and he was an unbelievable player at Darby High School in the 50s, Alonzo, and then at LaSalle College in Philadelphia. So Solomon, great genes there. Judah Smith, senior offensive lineman, 240 of Damon Moore, 5'8", 235 pounds.
Those Damon.
You got to love him.
Those shotgun snaps have to be. You got to make sure those get there at this time of year, man. Because there were a couple of short. There's been short hoppers throughout the season, but by this point in the season, Damon, especially you being the senior. I'm sorry.
My man, he's back. Back next year. He's a junior, number 61, Zane Tillery.
He gives power. He's part of that power running game.
270 pounds.
Yeah.
Big Jerry Young, 6'5", 265, a college. He's a college prospect there. Chester, we have a lot of college prospects. Yeah. I mean, he could be either D3, D2, D1. Jerry, 6'5", 265. Isaiah Emmons, a sophomore, number 65. Josh Nicholson, 5'9", junior, number 72. Jalen Johnson, 77, 6 feet, 270. Samaj Henry, 78. Yes, 6'5", 380.
Smaller than that young man.
That's a Samaj Henry. 79, Josiah Bynum, 6'6", sophomore, 370 pounds. These guys have continue to work hard over the week, over the off season, and get toned up. And they can do it.
Hey, Henry was wearing a boot as recently as the Downingtown game, because I saw him at the porta potties during the halftime.
Yep.
But I asked him.
So it's 1 o'clock.
He said he would be. So yeah, I saw him out there the other day on the field. I said, okay, he's back now.
So the District 1 5A quarterfinals, 1 o'clock at the historic Chester Sports Complex on Saturday. Phoenixville, their fifth. Let's see, they've made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is their sixth appearance in the postseason. 2005, they lost to Strathaven, 41-21. Strathaven went on to win the District 1 3A championship and lost I think that was the year. Or close. Oh, yeah, right. Then they lost to Pottsville in the state playoffs. Man, 2005, I can't believe that's 18 years ago already. And then Phoenixville in 2007 lost to Unionville, 27-7. First round District 1 tournament. 2011, their best postseason run, beat Interboro 44-20. First round, and the semifinals beat Academy Park 28-27. Not easy to do. And then lost to powerhouse Potts Grove 42-13 in the District 1 and back then 3A championship. 2012 lost to Interboro. First round 35-14 did Phoenixville. And made it last time they made it to the postseason, 2018, lost to Upper Perkiomen. There it is.
I was about to say, don't you hate that when you can't read your own
Yes,
name?
Upper Perkiomen, 41-22. We'll see what happens on Saturday. Other games, we have other games. Let's in District 1 6A. We'll talk about our Philadelphia Eagles in a second. District 1 6A quarterfinals. Just one Delaware County team left in the Elite Eight, and they're back. Garnet Valley. They've had.
They did win the other day.
Yeah, they've lost a couple games. CB West. They play CB West on the road up at Doylestown, a historic program. Yeah. They beat CB West in the District 1 championship game last year. Beat them up pretty good. Did Garnet Valley. First game of the year, they rematch. They played each other. West beat them, I think the final score is 14-10. So they meet again. Garnet Valley can do it. Very wing tee, all that stuff. District 1 5A, Chester, Phoenixville winner will play whoever survives the game between, it's going to be Bayard Ruston taking on Plymouth Whitemarsh. And Ruston is loaded. Their only loss, I announced the game 28-0 at 6A, Coatesville, whose season came to an end last week. So, yeah, that's how good Coatesville was. Well, you're playing against 6A. It's hard to beat a 5A to beat a 6A school. So the other one is we have Strathaven taking on, why am I blank? They were in the playoffs last year. Again, I can't read my own handwriting. Upper Dublin. Yeah, they won the District 1 championship, went to the States last year in the semifinals, lost to Imhotep. So it's going to be Upper Dublin at Strathaven, then Marple, Newtown, Springfield, Central League, two Central League teams, and that should be a war. Okay. And Springfield's loaded. Marple, Newtown is always tough. They gave us a good game last year in the first round of the districts, 18-15. You remember that. Clippers never made the postseason until 2020, the fall of 2021. Right. We made it that spring season, the championship. Right. They had a spring season. Then 21, we made it and lost to Kennett in the first round. And then last year we beat Marple 18-15 first round, lost at Plymouth Whitemarsh in the second round. And then here we are this year. We beat Upper Moreland last week. Yeah. All right, so, thoughts here, Darren.
Phoenixville played, again, Chester started off the season 31-0 loss to
Perkiomen Valley.
Now, Perkiomen Valley, 3 weeks ago, played Phoenixville. Phoenixville lost to them by 7.
Yes.
But at the same time, though,
there you
go. So I'm curious, and I can't see, and that's the thing that stinks about it. You can't look up the box score like this person.
No, they almost
exactly went down.
Got better as the year went on, but again, you can't really compare. You kind of can compare scores, but you really can't. Now, Perkiomen Valley, yes, 28-21.
Right.
Perkiomen Valley beat them. They beat us 31-0 here.
Right.
Then Westchester East, we beat them 32-0,
right.
and then they only lost by 7 to Phoenixville.
Right.
So who knows? You got to get out there. You got to execute.
I agree, but I disagree. I think I don't want to say the hay is in the barn, but I think with respect to what we saw earlier this season, what you just ran down in those scores, I think the stronger team sits right here in Chester in the orange and black. And as long as turnovers are the big thing, and we keep talking about before, penalties.
Yes, just like the Eagles game yesterday.
If they control those two if they keep those two track factors in their favor, this should be.
Assistant coach from Phoenixville, got to meet Courtney Williams, Courtenay, and I told him we're doing a show tonight.
Right.
Okay, we're going to do a show to preview the game, and he said he's going to check in, him and the Phoenixville guys. He also said, "Are you going to have me on your show?" said Coach Williams, "after we beat y'all on Saturday." Ha 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 ha. So anyway. So I said, I'll mention it. There he goes. And I guess you got to be confident, right? That's
hey, nothing beats a try but a fail.
Yeah.
If you don't believe, who else will?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there it is. Chester, Phoenixville. Be there, be square, and get your tickets.
Now how does that work?
Oh, I don't know.
For those of us who, because I know for me it was different. I had to, go, because up until. For most of the season, it was walk up to $5 back there. So last week I had to do something different with my phone. How's that work? You had to download an app. How'd you get in? Oh, you just know people. Okay.
Well, you should get in for free.
No, I always throw the money to the pro. I just like to.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
my wife. Yeah. So we work in the game, and you're working the game too. But that's nice. That's so you have an app or something? Or
no, what happened is I think there was something they had scan codes outside of the game. So if you didn't have a ticket, you had to scan that code, and whatever app you purchased your tickets that way. So it went from $7 to, of course, convenience fees. What convenience? Where's the convenience? So $7.42.
Probably going to the District 1.
So $7.42.
Yeah,
you got to scan that code. And that's how you get your ticket to get.
All right, whatever, man. I just
same thing.
We need cash, man. I mean, we can do everything. Should be optional.
That's the thing too, because I was talking to who was it? Damon Fitzgerald. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me look at your roster real quick. I can't believe I can't figure who it was.
14.
Yeah, it was Damon Fitzgerald's mom, and she mentioned to me.
She's fired up, babe. Deep Chester roots for her and a family.
So she mentioned the kids and how they eat, before the game, the team, the young men, before they eat before the game, and how they all make the pregame meal. So there's the old saying, whatever you're doing, someone's paying for it. So to feed that many big young fellas, it takes cash, and for them to be well fed, so they can go out and execute a game well, things like that. Yeah.
How about the legendary Chester High cheerleaders?
Oh man, they're awesome. I want to do that. I'm too busy watching the game sometimes because I want to learn that. Because one day I want to just be walking by and just jump out there with them when they do that. We all of mighty Chester Clip, and we're here too. Ooh.
So Abdul, you're the only one commenting on there. What's he say? He's our engineer here tonight, and Abdul says kids will be. Oh, so you know Zion? Oh yeah, excellent. Because probably know his dad from DJing or work. Okay. There you go. But yeah, now so Yeah, good luck to all the teams this weekend. Believe it or not, if you go all the way to the state championship game, there's 6 classes. It's 5 more weeks of football.
Yeah,
5 more weeks.
That's a woof.
All right, Philadelphia Eagles. 8-1. That's the fundamentals of both teams in the last minute and a half.
Here, I'm the Eagles. Here, Dallas, have this game.
And you
don't want this game? Are you sure? You sure you don't want this?
That was too weird, man.
Yeah.
So the Eagles pulled it out, and they get a bye week.
That play that Dak Prescott made, okay, there was a few plays, probably like 5 plays that you could point to and say, that game was either won or lost there, depending on your side and I know it's disgusting. I saw it at the game Saturday. Again, I'm an expatriate. I'm not from this. I'm from Philadelphia originally, but
I thought you went to Chester High. I mean, for a year or so.
No.
Oh, you're all Philly.
Yeah.
What school in Philly would you have gone to?
Overbrook.
Oh, okay. Will Chamberlain's High School. Walt has. Oh man. So he went to North Penn High School up in. I don't know how he ended up there. I'd like to ask you in a second, but yeah, go ahead. Continue this about the Eagles.
Lot of Dallas Cowboys gear in this town. It's almost 50-50 sometimes. It feels.
I know Derek Spence.
I turned to one corner. There was that one gentleman. He had the hat, the sweatshirt on, and he had the Clippers game. I was like,
Well, they won. Both teams have a combined nine world championships. Okay. Of course, I know the Eagles, 48, 49, 60, with Chuck Bednarik and those guys, and then 2017. Now, college football, you're an Ohio State fan?
Yes.
All right, so you have 2 St. Joe's Prep guys, Kyle McCord, the quarterback, Marvin Harrison. Okay, so now Penn State plays Michigan. Can Penn State beat Michigan, the games at Penn State? This would be an unbelievable. Coach Franklin's taken a lot of heat. It's hard to beat. He's never beaten a top 10 team on their home field. How many colleges have? Okay. Maybe Alabama. But now he's got a home game. I think Michigan's ranked 3rd in the country. It's home. Penn State, they're 11th or 12th. If they win that game, they could move up into the top 6 or 7. Can Penn State do it? Do they have enough?
They need those turnovers and things like that. Things would have to go Penn State's way because I think ultimately, Michigan's a little too fast for.
You think Michigan's better than Ohio State this year? Is Ohio State number 1 in the country?
They are number 1.
They're number 1 in the country.
They gave number 1 in the playoff brackets.
Okay,
They mainly based that on Ohio State's schedule versus say Georgia. Because Georgia's schedule is real low. It's like in the hundreds, I think.
Well, Franklin, if they win this game, it'll be okay. They have beaten the top 10 team at home during his regime. Okay, but I'm sure the people say, well, you haven't beat Ohio State, and you can't beat a top 10 team on the road. So, anyway, you win this game. That puts you in the running for possibly the Final Four. Right. Possibly, but Penn State's going to have to win. But it's right there for them.
In Happy Valley.
And that's why they
But they got that coach. You mentioned the coach. That's where the disadvantage is.
I know, but he has a pretty good record. But the bottom line is that it's right there for him. And Franklin is a good recruiter, and he's got some studs.
He's
got a lot of guys from around Pennsylvania, like guys from around here.
And that'll happen at Penn State. They just automatically they are guaranteed a lot of those programs, even programs that I played against were, walk-ons. Were like all conference. They're walk-ons at Penn State. They were all conference that I played against. Penn State it's like a religion up there. Where I went,
I know.
Where I went to high school, it was like a religion. That's part of why I'm an Ohio State fan because I got up there and I was like, oh, this don't feel right. And then it was like when I always noticed whenever Penn State lost, it was never because the other team beat them. It was because Penn State didn't play well.
The county below that is called Mifflin County. Right. The towns of Lewis towns, like where the courthouse is. And it's just south. You got Center State College. They're fanatical too. It's a cult following. And it's funny, the Mifflin County people, on the whole, they don't like State College area people. They don't like it. It's really weird. But they love the Penn State football program. So I got to experience that for 13 years on the radio up there. So I was kind of out in the boondocks too, Okay. And so how did you end up in North Central PA, North Penn, Mansfield.
It was kind of, well, what happened, before that, my grandmother, she started running a youth facility up there in Wellsboro, which is right there in Tioga County. It's the biggest town in Tioga County, probably. Yes. So she was running that up there. Then a couple of years later, my father moved up there, and then he got a job at Mansfield University. And so one day I was going in Catholic school here in the city, in Philly, and then I went to public school, and then I started having a lot more fun because there was a lot less oversight at public school in Philly. So I got into, it was almost like a Fresh Prince situation. I got into a fight. And
around Overbrook is I forget what part of town that's in. West Philly?
Oh, yeah.
It's West Philly. All right.
So I actually got in a fight and got hurt in the fight. Mm-hmm. And then so my mother comes home. She sees I'm all groggy. And she's like, our landlord had told her, I think your son's on drugs. And so next thing I know, I woke up, I opened my eyes. There's my mother and my grandmother standing over me. Are you on drugs? Oh, what?
How old were you?
I'm 13 at the time.
13.
So then my mother calls the school to tell them, yay, Darren won't be in. Oh, that's nothing new. Excuse me? So then that whole facade came down. So then my mother was like, she just so happened, my grandmother happened to call that night. My mother's exasperated. Hey, Mr. DeVoue, my father's mother. Hey, Mr. DeVoue, you're going to need another grandchild because I'm about to kill this one. And
wow.
So my grandmother's like, well, send him up here. And so
your grandmom lived in North Penn?
Yeah.
What's the name of the town again? Mansfield.
Yeah,
so it's right next to.
I went to Mansfield, yeah. Blossburg I wound up moving to Blossburg my junior year.
Route 6. I drove through it a few weeks ago. We were up in the lake. So what do you call those lakes up there?
Finger Lakes?
The Finger Lakes, yes. It was great. We'd be in the wife and her family. Yeah. It was.
That drive this time of year.
Penyon, yeah, it was nice. It was nice, yeah.
That was
Route 6.
The first time I took that drive when I was a kid, when my grandmother, years before I wound up going to school up there, first time I took that drive, it changed like that. Yeah, it was.
Do you have any other brothers and sisters?
Yes. 3 younger brothers, 1 younger sister.
Did any of them go to North Penn?
My brother, 2 of my brothers and my one, where we have the same father.
And you played sports up there?
Yeah.
How many years? Varsity, basketball and football?
Yeah, 4 years of football, 4 years of football and 4 years of basketball. Well, 3 years of basketball. I played on JV my freshman year.
Right.
Sophomore through.
Did you guys make any runs, playoffs?
Oh, yeah, North Penn. Well, my junior year, oh, man, tore my knee up in football my junior season. And that was when I actually moved to North Penn, and we had a squad that year, too.
What year did you graduate?
93. We wound up going into we went to States that year. We went to States. I was hurt, but, we would. I think we would have took it that year. Single A. Yeah.
A single A.
Yeah.
North Penn. Yeah, great football up there. I mean, it's amazing. So, and your dad, tell us, your mom and dad still with us?
No, sure? Oh yeah. Well, my father's not anymore, but my mother's still here. But they had divorced when I was 3.
Where she live?
Mom is in Florida. She retired and moved out. Well, actually, she retired, moved to Arizona, but then she said, "Whoa, Arizona, are you taxing my retirement check in addition to?" So she said, "Hey, Florida is looking real good."
So then you were up there living just with your grandmom or grandpa too?
My father had moved up there a few years earlier. Okay. So my father was living, so he had that job at Mansfield.
And everybody good. No problems with, because
I'm black?
Well, I mean, minority, let's say, minority.
Actually, it was funny because when I moved up there, again, because the university's at Mansfield, so you had, you had the local student population, but you also had folks that had lived in the town, whether they had moved to the town for work or whether they came to the town for school, graduated, and wound up getting a job at the school or somewhere in the area. So there was a pretty sizable black population.
Yeah, but I don't want to say,
but
you and I are minority, but being a Jew and I'm Jewish and living up in suburban, rural areas. I mean, it's just it's just a little. They bust. Basically, people just bust my chops. The thing about being a Jew, he's a Jew. We have a reputation being tight with our money. So you cheap Jew and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't want to offend any of my Jewish peeps out there.
Yeah. You have stuff that would happen from time to time. For instance, there was this one game, man. I was shot free throws like Shaq. If I could do it all over again, I'd have definitely did the Rick Barry and did the underhand free throw. Yeah, dude. Because I mean, that's automatic stuff.
Yeah.
So I was at the free throw line, right? And we were in this town called Elkland.
What Elkland?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's I don't know if they won a state championship in basketball or not. Girls, maybe girls.
Man, the girls were good. They started to become a powerhouse when I was in high school. Then,
right?
Miss, I forget the coach's name.
See if I can find it. Go ahead, keep talking.
I'm at the free throw line at Elkland. I turn around and I started to hear just as I'm about to shoot. I hear this spook.
Where's this at again?
Elkland.
Oh, at Elkland.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay.
So how far is that away from Mansfield?
It's straight up Route 6. It was probably for like 40 minutes.
So I turn around. That's not nice.
Actually, motivated at the free throw line. Every time I went through the free throw line, nailing them now. Spook, swish.
Every time. And the athletic director didn't do anything?
You know what? And no, the refs didn't do anything. Although the principal stopped me of the Elkland High School. He had to talk. He stopped. He apologized and whatnot. Years later, I'm at Mansfield University. I'm walking through the dining hall. This guy stops me. He's like, "Excuse me," and then proceeds to say, "Listen, years ago I did something very offensive." He starts to go into this, one of the most heartfelt, honest apologies I've ever heard.
He remembered you.
Yeah. He broke it down to me, this, that, and the other. By the time he got done, all I could do was go, just stick out my hand.
So how many years ago?
That was my senior year, so it was 93. No, it was a few years. It was like a few years later. So it was been about 96, 97.
Oh, and he recognized you, and he admitted
it was easier for him to recognize me than it was for me.
Okay, all right. So and he was the one who said he
owned it.
It was only one person doing it.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they didn't do anything. The athletic director, come on.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Well, they did.
All right. So anyway,
that was the funniest part of the story. Cause I'm glad my coach didn't realize what was going on with that. Cause I probably shot like 80% from the line that day, if not better. He probably would be like, listen, I'm gonna need somebody in the stands each day. I know, you're gonna get in trouble, but I'm gonna need you to, when Darren's at the line, I'm gonna need you to.
That wouldn't go.
It's for the team. It's for the team.
I don't think that would go well down here these days. All right, you can't. So yeah, that's not a good term. That's unbelievable. So Darren DeVoue, thanks for joining me. You'll be there, right? Saturday, Chester, Phoenixville football, 1 o'clock. District 1, it's do or die. And it's going to be, the intensity rises every game.
Oh yeah.
And it's a grind.
It's a grind. Like you said, 5 weeks. My goodness.
Yeah.
And they've got classes, and they've got lives, and they've got, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be, and you'll be my spotter. Hopefully, I'll bring out my rosters and everything.
Don't forget my cheesesteak.
Okay. I need to. But anyway, thanks, man. Really appreciate. Are you going to? It'd be cool to have the game on TV, but I think
No. He's working something out with the district, so that hopefully I can
be nice,
play-by-play and call the play-by-play because I ain't trying to toot my own horn, but I won. I'm kind of good.
Yeah, you are, man. That's all right.
The Clippers are an exciting team. Like I know that there's alumni out there that need that. They're living in different areas. So it's
good to have a play-by-play guy. All right, Darren.
I'll be a great spotter for you because I use my binoculars. That's what I use.
Yeah, I got my wife up there. She does a heck of a job, and I really appreciate.
Can I go home with you after? No, I'm just
no. She's on the road. She's no. I can't cook. She's out of town. Okay, Abdul will kill. Abdul, thank you very much for the engineer. What a nice guy he is. Okay, and Darren.
Now, Abdul, you have a show, Finding Humility Through Change. Now, what if I have humility but I need change? Can you do a remix episode one day?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Your show is Finding Humility Through Change.
Okay.
I got humility, but I need to change. So I need you to switch.
Come talk about it. Come on the show. We can talk about it.
Let's go. And your show, Abdul, is what?
Friday mornings at 8 a.m.
Friday at 8 a.m.
Yes.
And you're again now at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. The D train with Darren DeVoue.
The D train.
Yes.
Well, hopefully we'll get some kids in down the road, but no show for me next week.
Okay.
I've got I'm a board member, Delaware County Sports Hall of Fame. We have a big induction banquet coming up. So, I forgot to mention. Did I tell you Kevin Kelly resigned, or did I already mention that? Kevin is the coach of Ridley. Did I already mention?
You did mention
I did
that.
mention that. Okay, yeah.
So actually, one quick thing before you let me go, Dave. Delaware County. So induction banquet. So
yeah, once a year. Oh yeah, you were there.
So wait, that's already been a year?
Well, we had two the last couple years. The Hall of Fame banquet.
Okay.
And you were there when
the induction.
Larry Arbrig, Jameer. Yeah, it's the same thing you went to.
That's the exact same thing?
Yeah.
So it's been a year?
You and your cousin,
My nephew.
your nephew. Yeah, it's it'll be a year in the spring. It's going to be in April is when.
All right. Okay.
And we've got some great classes. And again, congratulations. I can't name them all, but Chester High is finally going to have another Hall of Fame sports banquet. They missed it since 2019 was the last one. I actually got in. I'm in the Hall of Fame. I got the Fred Pickett Award, man.
Nice.
It was pretty cool. That was a surprise.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I did. That was a surprise in 2009. So they've got it back again. A lot of guys, women are going to be in that thing. So it's a big banquet coming up. I know one guy. He wants to shout. Maurice Nelson. There you go. SUNY Blackwell is going to be in there, and Anthony Davis, just to name a few. So check it out. All right, thank you, Darren.
Thank you for having me. Really
great show, and hopefully we can do it again. Talk sports. Delco Sports 360. I'm Dave Burman for Darren DeVoue, and what shall I call you? Abdul?
Umpa Abdul Waki.
Abdul Waki, our engineer. Everybody have a great rest of your Monday. We'll see you next time.